The Bucks game, let's just start there. I think that deserves a giant, deep Scarborough accent. Holy! Welcome back, everybody, to the Sports Ethos Toronto Raptors podcast. I'm your host, the ELHOOPOL, Hoopo. And of course, the other host of this almost award-winning podcast is A.Rod, A-R-O-D. Let's go.
Let's go.
What's going on, A-Rod?
How's it going, man?
Holy brethren.
Lay it on thick there.
Holy, I'm cheese, bro. Yeah, lay it on thick. Yeah, for Toronto men's. Well, that's what that was though. The Bucks came in and holy, that was a beautiful game. You know what's funny? Everyone I've spoke to, I walk my daughter and son. I walk my son to daycare in the morning. I walk my daughter to school, right? And I run into everybody in the neighborhood. The guys that are in the 16-team fantasy league, they're all in the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. I run into everybody, and there's always like a quick, hey, did you watch that? Hey, did you watch that? And we go back and forth, right? Everybody after that Bucks game was like, that's just typical Raptors shit right there. They lose to some bum-ass team, and then they come back and just clap the Bucks. And so like what? First of all, quickly, before I jump in on this and jump on the trampoline and see what I can find on the top and bring it back down to the bottom, you tell me what you saw in this Bucks game.
Shades of 95, 96 energy,
Hey.
all up in this, man.
Hey,
I mean, you remember that year where Bulls were like what 72 and 10?
9 or what is it? Yeah.
72 and 10, right? I was thinking 9. Oh man, it's late night. The math is off. The math ain't mathing.
Well, after that 76ers game that just finished right now.
The computers ain't putin', man. But
I get what
you know, like that year was history for the Bulls, right?
Yep.
And we were one of the only teams that beat them in that season, right?
Yeah.
But then we lost to a bunch of bummy ass teams too, and that's, you know, we were an exhibition team at that time, so you know, you were still thinking, oh well, a lot of these games they gave us hope. They come back at the end, the comeback falls a little flat.
Yeah.
This is what that feels like. We're gonna go up and down for the rest of the season because this team is awful to watch.
Mm-hmm.
They really have to get everything clicking perfectly for them to even get a nice win like this.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you look at that Portland game, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, we went over it last episode because they even knocked you out of the episode. They knocked you right the fuck out. You were gone. It was like, look at Portland just killed my man.
Personally, I thought I was going to end up on CP24, and then you're going to have to call a bunch of people and let them know I'm done.
Crazed man from Toronto's east side. Found shirtless. Oh, man, yeah. No, I hear you. No, you know what? The one thing I agree with you that it has to be just right, doesn't it? It has to be just right for them to pull out the dub. But I will say there was a few things that I liked that were off, that were some bright spots. Obviously, it was a huge, nice, big win. You know, they needed it. There was nothing else. I mean, I predicted Max and I last episode. We predicted the score. We both predicted they were going to get blown up by 20 or more. And then they go and they do this. I should have known. Because that's just the way they roll. But there was a couple things I noticed in that game that I liked, and it's the synergy between Grady and Scotty, and it's a nice the pick and roll they got going on. That they you can just see that they have this nice energy, this nice connection together. That the more like second year, third year, once they've played a couple of seasons together, I can see that those two are going to be real nice together. And also, another second point is seeing Malachi Flynn finally put in some nice minutes. Yeah. The stats didn't show it, but he looked like a legitimate backup point guard that game. And he made some nice. He was playing hard on defense. He was running back. Both sides, and had the big hug with Coach at the end of the game. I mean, it was nice to see for him and for the Raptors.
So you're saying he was doing some 17s on the court there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was just, man, I mean, come on, this guy, hey, maybe those steroids, we were saying in the other episode, his dad put him on some steroids and some Chef Boyardee from Shoppers, and maybe it worked.
You know
Maybe
what?
it
I gotta
worked.
say, man, I'm really enjoying watching Scotty's confidence on the court. I think that's a non-box score, stat. But watching this guy play now,
So
what I
much
have really
confidence.
enjoyed is watching him just come up and just take a pull-up three.
Smooth.
Like, I don't even care that it goes in at this point. I just love that he has the confidence to shoot it.
There it is.
Like,
I've been
it's
saying the
nice,
exact
man.
same thing. And then fuck the turnovers. Who cares if you get a few? He's trying. He's doing
He's
some.
trying. It's
He's
very
trying.
enjoyable to actually
It's
watch
fun.
him specifically. The rest of the team, I'm still kind of, maybe
Well,
jury's
yeah,
out. There's,
yeah,
that game in particular, the Milwaukee game, there was a lot of passing going on.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
looking good
yeah.
because the shots were falling and everybody was getting involved.
Everything was falling.
At other games that we've watched, the passing has been overpassing to the point where there's been a lot of turnovers as a byproduct. But
Yep.
I guess this is what it's going to be the whole year, man. It's
It
going to be
it
up
it
and down.
it was another good thing I think that came out of that game was finally seeing some Otto Porter Jr. get some
Yeah.
minutes in as the vet, which when he was out there, I really kept an eye on him to see what, and he settled things down. He brought a bit of a vet presence out there that
Yeah.
we really do need. And it was nice to see, but then he's out this game with some injury management. But it's good to see that they're bringing him back slowly, and I think he's going to be that piece. We need that. The Raptors need that steady vet who can hit some shots.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I'm not looking for you to take over the game. We're not looking for you to score 20. What we are looking for you to do is settle the game down, bring that vet presence, which brings a bit of just balance and stability and steer the ship right when there's a bit of a storm. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed that, but
No,
yeah,
I agree with you, man. I also
yeah.
think, you know what, we also got to kind of temper our expectations here with Schroeder because today online I saw,
100%.
I'm not a bit like, I like Dennis Schroeder. I like Dennis Schroeder on Germany.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
think he's all right in the league. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's great. I'm kind of indifferent about him.
yeah.
But the stuff I see online today, like I saw somebody pull up a graphic and say like Dennis Schroeder in 5 games, 86 points or something like that, and like I don't
Yeah,
know
they
what
are
it
going
was,
off on that. They're even going
like
off on that in the
30
game.
something assists or whatever. I'm like, but this guy played like ass, like those last 2 games, man. Yeah, he played well against Milwaukee, but my God, Portland in the game before,
Yeah,
like Chicago, he was
yeah,
ass.
yeah. Well, he had
Like,
24, 11, and 4 in the Bucks game, but everybody pretty much had that same line.
yeah,
But you're absolutely right, and I was saying in the last episode to Max, I've played with point guards like him before. They're just so fast and they're all over the place, and it's just kind of frantic and chaotic, and you have to try to keep up, and you kind of have to guess as you go instead of
yeah,
kind of you know what I'm saying, and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what he brings. It's a backup. He's a backup who's been thrust into this position. And, yeah, his numbers are nice, but there's more than numbers in basketball. And we all
oh,
know
absolutely.
that. It goes far beyond numbers. And let's just hope that, it all kind of, when the smoke clears, we're looking at more than that. And there's more to show than that. So, but Grady Dick, that's my thing. Coming out of that Bucks game, yeah, we won the game, big blowout. That's nice. We needed that win. But I liked what I saw from Grady. I liked what I saw from Jakob. Jakob
Oh
looked
yeah, yeah,
strong. Yeah,
yeah. He's
yeah,
excellent, man. Those 4 blocks,
yeah. 14 and
excellent, man.
11, 4 blocks. Yep.
And those 4 blocks are early in the game too. I think they were in the first 2 quarters, if I'm
That's
not
because he knew
mistaken.
he was
Yeah, yeah,
okay. He put his head down. He said, "Let's go to work."
yeah,
And we needed that. They needed that. They really did.
yeah.
They really did need that. Let's go on the other side of that game. Let's go on to the Bucks. What did you see on the Bucks side? That I don't know if it was a case of White Vegas that they went out the night before and had some fun, and maybe they just
I
didn't get
honestly
enough
think the
water.
Bucks are a work in progress. As soon as they made that trade, I was just kind of like, okay, well, you got the offense from Dame, which they showcased in Game 1 against
Mm-hmm.
Philly when he's
Mm-hmm.
dropped the 39 to open
Yeah.
the season, and
Yeah.
then he had an absolute stinker the next night.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Dame Lillard, man. Fantastic player, going to be in the Hall of Fame. You can argue that he is one of the top shooters of all time, especially when pull-ups off the dribble, limitless range. Make all the nice positive comments you want about him.
Yeah.
Over the years, anybody that's watched basketball has seen that his defense is not good. He is
Yeah,
a
it's
below
not
average
great.
defender. So
Yeah.
when you trade that, or when you trade Drew Holiday for that, I feel like that really affects their system because a lot of times Drew was good enough to be on an island with the other team's best player. And even if they passed him, he knew how to funnel these guys into Brook Lopez, who was basically a rim
Yeah.
protector under the net, right? So it
Yeah.
really made their defense very, very good, especially in the paint, because even if you pass Drew, it's like you had Brook Lopez there, and that was really difficult to finish over, right? But now
Yeah.
with Dame, it's like you can go by him. He's like a pylon.
Yeah.
So
And
it
the thing is,
really throws everything off.
And that Brooke Lopez waiting back there isn't last year's Brooke Lopez.
No, no, he's only getting older, which
Yeah,
is
he
it's
got a
fine.
lot
It's a
older over the
natural.
summer. That's fine. Last year's season he had was I don't know the word to describe it for him. It was a surprise,
Mhm.
especially coming off the back surgery and boom, nobody saw that coming. And to think that that was going to carry over into this year, well, age definitely and the size and back injury and da 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 da. I
Yeah, it
mean,
goes on, man.
don't be surprised. And like
Also,
for
yeah,
mhm,
sorry,
mhm.
sorry to interrupt
No,
you. I was just thinking
no,
off
no,
the
no,
top of my head. Like
no.
they also lost Javon Carter and Grayson Allen. Those are two like really good role players for that team specifically.
Look at Grayson last night with Beal and Booker out.
Yeah, and
Huge, big
like
game.
they both played defense.
Yeah,
Grayson a
pesky.
little bit dirty because he's from Duke, but
Very dirty.
that's
Yeah.
another tangent line. Um, you
You know
know,
who? You know what Grayson Allen reminds me of? It reminds me of like
uh,
an Amway salesman. Remember Amway back?
yeah,
Do you use toothpaste? Do you use a toothbrush?
no,
Yeah, of course
for
I
me,
do. Well,
for me, it just reminds me of
come join the
those
team.
Mormon guys on the subway, man, that would have
Yo,
name
man.
tags, and it'll be like Elder Grayson, They'd be
Yeah,
like,
he's
hey,
the creepy youth group leader.
yeah,
Come on, let's do. Hey, you know what we're doing Friday, boys? We're doing some wrestling.
yeah.
No,
He'd just be like,
Grayson,
hey,
no.
you believe in God? And you'd be like, I don't really have time for this. And you'd be like, what about basketball? You like basketball? There's a nice gym in our church basement.
Yeah.
That's
Grayson
the
Allen's God in basketball camp.
Yeah, yeah. That's how they lure kids in there, man.
With the church and the basketball.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
basketball.
That's why he's got the gray on the sides because Jesus touched him on the sideburns. You know, this guy, he just makes me angry looking at him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was watching the highlights of the other day, and I just looked at him. I'm like, this guy. If I played against this guy, I am taking a suspension.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm Bruce Bowening his ass. Pow! I'm gonna put him on the ground and step on his face. Anyways, let's get off Grace now. Oh, but you know what? Wait, I'm so glad I remembered this. Remember last season how much we were shitting on Dylan Brooks?
Yeah.
Our boy here, Dylan Brooks.
I'm still shitting on him.
Where respect is due, this guy is balling in Houston right now. He is balling in Houston right now, and I have to give it up to Dylan Brooks and his jean vests and his cowboy boots or whatever he's doing down there. Dylan, keep doing what you're doing. You did us proud this summer at the FIBAs too. So yeah,
So good for him. Round of applause. I'm still gonna shit on him, but round of applause, man.
Yeah, there you go, Dylan.
Yeah.
D Brooks, Mississauga's very own.
Sorry, one final point about the Bucks.
Yeah.
So we're talking about defense. We're talking about Giroux, Dame. Then we talked about Grayson Allen, Javon Carter bouncing. They got Malik Beasley.
They sure
If
did.
there ever was a chucker in life, that is Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
He's got that J.R. Smith DNA
Yeah.
mixed in with I don't even know what, man.
Yeah.
He's got he's like, oh man.
It's like a Terrence Ross too. Yeah. But Terrence,
he's like a terrible version of the late and great Kobe. Like in the sense of I'm just gonna shoot no matter what and shoot or shoot. Because man, this guy just jacks threes.
Yeah,
nonstop,
he'll get like 20 no defense. He'll get 20 points one game, next game he'll get 5.
Yeah.
And then he'll get 20, and then he'll get 5.
Shoot or shoot, man.
Shoot. You're right, the Javon Carter loss, that was big.
It was big, man. It was
big.
Like, I think a lot of these guys, like even Draymond said it the other night. I was watching a little interview with Draymond talking about, the team and how much he's enjoying, Golden State this year. And he was saying, I tell these guys all the time, championships are won 6 through 10, meaning the guys on the bench, right?
True.
And half the time you remember back to the old championships, yeah, you remember the MVPs and the moments and all that stuff. But there were a lot of role players that really helped guys get their chip.
Yeah.
Like James Posey on Boston. Remember that epic series this guy had?
100%. OG James Posey. Ooh,
yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Even Dallas, man. Come on, JJ Barea,
JJ T-Rex.
Yeah, man.
Just, little arms.
It's crazy.
Man. You know what? JJ Barea doesn't even have to do push-ups. He just like that, just a plank.
It's just a nub.
Just a nub. It's like he's got pirate arms.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get off that. And I want to start a new thing. When the Raptors win a game, who are you giving the game ball to? Isaiah, who the game ball goes to? And it's not, and it can be for any reason, but who are you giving the game ball to on this win? The Bucks win. Raptors win over the Bucks.
I'm still giving it to Scotty. He's the engine, man.
Yeah.
He's the engine that's getting this team going. So
I think the game ball is always going to go to Scotty, and but so I'm going to try to avoid that because everybody knows who listens to this podcast. I'm a fan of Scotty, so this one I'm giving to Malachi. I'm going to share it between Malachi and Otto, just because Otto's back.
Oh, and Otto, okay.
So they can share that. They can share that. All right, let's jump to today. Just finished right now. The 77-6 Mafia went up against the Raptors. Raptors were in Philly tonight. They tried to bring those good vibes to take down the Night Nurse. And it didn't turn out so great.
No.
There's not really. Yeah, it was just one of them games, man. What can you say? There's not actually much you could say. The points that I saw that really stuck out to me were more so on the Scotty once again just did it again. He did it again, and he looked. He's you're good when you're a lot of fun to watch. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys out there that were kind of like, you remember DeMar? Love DeMar. Go down in history here in Toronto. But sometimes DeMar wasn't that fun to watch. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was fun to watch. Like he had that. He's had big moments always. And hey, man, I met DeMar DeRozan his rookie year before he played a game for the Raptors in Yorkdale, and so I don't even know why I'm saying that right now. But what I'm saying is I love DeMar, and he has a big place in my heart.
I do too, man.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is Scotty's a lot of fun to watch right now. And he did it again tonight. His final line tonight was 24, 8, and 8. Just missed a triple-double. And, what would you see?
Personally, again, I'm going to compliment the guy on taking shots and being confident enough to take the shots. There's not really a hesitation. I saw at one point in the game, I think he was 2 for 7 from 3. Like, he hit his first 2, and then he missed a few after. Yeah. I don't so much care about whether or not he makes them this year. It's more I like to see the willingness and the confidence and the ability to go take them, because eventually they're going to drop. It's just a matter of time, right? I don't ever expect him to be like Klay Thompson or Steph Curry or anybody like that, right? Everybody seems to have this thing in the NBA where like they think if a guy doesn't shoot over like 40% from 3, he's shit. Yeah, and like some guys just aren't cut out for that. But you would like to see them actually try and get better, and like if they can make a hefty amount of them and something that's reasonable, then great. What
and
he does so much other stuff, man.
Oh my god, you know what it is too? The confidence. He's been given the keys, and this time he knows he has the keys. Yeah. So to be given the keys like that, and to know you've been given the keys by everybody else, and they respect your game, that just, it's impossible not to be having fun out there and be taking those shots, right? Yeah. On the Philly side, man, we mentioned it before. I don't know if it was me or you, but the big pickup of Kelly Oubre Jr.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Man, sniper over here. Just sure. Man, he's out here. He get none of after the James Harden trade. We didn't even get to talk about that. But after the James Harden trade, all these 20 power forwards that Philly got brought back. None of them played tonight, so we didn't get to see any of these new guys.
Which is so weird. Covington play? Like Nick Nurse would love like a Covington type player. Like all this guy does is just provide length and defense.
The moment I heard Covington Rocco was coming to set,
Yeah.
that is a Nick Nurse guy right there. KJ Martin Jr.
No, I think it's Kenyon, right?
Kenyon Martin Jr. Yeah. Anyways,
Is it Kenyon or KJ?
I think it's KJ.
You could.
I don't know. Actually, it's one of them.
We'll just call it Martin. Whatever.
No, yeah. Nobody played. Nobody played. So Kelly got the start. And he made the most of it, and looked good and confident out there. So it'll be hard to take him off the court if you're Nick Nurse. Yeah.
I think Philly doesn't necessarily have a deep team. I think they just have something that works fairly well right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they get to the playoffs, assuming they stay healthy the whole year. If they stay healthy the whole year, they're gonna definitely make playoffs. You could argue they're probably like top 3 team in the East. Right, just based on like previous records and like roster and whatever, right? But it'll be interesting to see what happens because at the end of the day, Joel Embiid is a suck. Like
he really is.
He's a suck, man. Listen, I like the guy. I think he's supremely talented. I think he's an excellent basketball player. But after watching him for years, he's a suck. Like,
we had some hard fouls on him tonight. OG hit him hard, and he acted like he got shot.
Yeah, but even last year, remember last year's Game 7? When he was in the playoffs against Boston? Where were him and Harden? Like, Harden was decent for that series. He had 2 40-point bangers. And then Embiid had what? Nothing? Like,
nothing.
Trash in that last game. Trash. And he sucked out. And then the Ben Simmons year before, this guy like threw Ben under the bus, which I would have done too. But hey.
Have we ever thrown Ben under the bus on this?
I don't know, man. Tell me how you really feel.
I want to start an award on this pod called a Benny. So if anybody in the league that you think that has done some bum ass Ben Simmons type of move, we give him a Benny. Yeah. Anyways, that's for later. But to stay on the 76ers, I said one guy that's going to, I think, win through this Harden trade is Mr. Tyrese Maxey. Maxey is going to blow. And listen, he continued his onslaught against the Raptors tonight, and the same old just shaking and baking. He's just shaking. He's always just shaking and running.
We don't have a guy that can take him.
Nobody.
The thing is, OG is nice for small forwards and up. For quick guards,
I don't know.
I'm not really that into it because, like, he can't move laterally the way that you think he can move. It's like the OG Anunoby paradox is that you're constantly told he's an elite defender, and he is in certain respects. But it's constantly like spoon-fed to you that this guy is like some supreme all first NBA team defender, and he can take anybody, defend 1 through 5 and whatever. Yeah. But then after you see him against a really quick guard like Maxey, I don't know, man.
There's a lot of times where he looks like he's on the lakeshore in 1995 on some rollerblades, just like, you know what I mean? Like, what is happening here? He plays like my dad sometimes, like when my dad used to try to play. I've mentioned that before, but he is an elite defender. He is, but I have to agree with you.
Can we slap like a label where it's like elite defender, but within context?
Within context.
Could be something like that,
Yeah.
Like that way it's just not like we're not bad mouthing him. We're just gotta be realistic, Like,
let's be What's another word for elite? Let's take elite down just one notch. What would be another word for under elite? Sublete. He's a sublete defender. Anyways, so I don't want to jump on OG. He's out of shape right now, and I've said it multiple times already.
I'm looking at him. He looks out of shape. Man, it's like you're brainwashing me into thinking that he is.
just look at him. Come on, look at him. Like there's some extra body fat on him that is and it's hauling him back, and you can see he's grabbing at his shorts. I could be completely wrong, and I'm just getting skinnier because I am. And maybe I'm just saying these guys look big.
Judgmental.
Nowadays too, but better be quiet now.
Yeah. Look at this fat motherfucker.
This fat fuck. Look at this guy. Look at he's a burden on society.
Like this
Oh
Tim
man,
Hortons donut eating ass.
triple drinking, fat
Triple triple.
bastard. Oh
Oh
man.
man.
Anyways, no, it's KJ. It's K Martin Jr. Anyways,
Okay.
he did play 1 minute. So Covington
Okay.
played a minute. Bamba played a minute. It must have been at the end when we cut off and
Yeah.
like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't get to see that. But okay, I mean, these games happen. You win some, you lose some. I really didn't expect them to come out and take this one. I thought they may have surprised them because
Yeah.
the 76ers may have been sitting there going, I don't know, I'm not going to take this seriously. But
You just jogged my memory. I gotta ask you something, man. Just a
yeah.
quick little question. How do you feel about Thanasis having a 15 man roster spot?
Who? Sorry?
Thanasis Antetokounmpo, Greek
Thanasis?
Freak's brother.
Yeah, he's on it. He's a what?
He's on the Bucks, and he's
He's
the
on the.
15th man on the roster. So, like, how do you feel about him actually having a roster spot?
I think
Like,
honestly, I think is. Let me think about that. I know why. It's kind of disrespectful to the league, just because. I mean, you just have him on here because to keep Giannis happy. I would assume so to get his brother on there. Other than that, I barely even knew he was on there, to be honest, and it doesn't really bother me. Like I don't even why. What's your take on that?
I just because we were talking about we didn't see the end when those guys checked in, so I got to thinking about him because a lot of people have been shitting on him on the net lately.
Oh, really?
Because they're saying this guy is not even an NBA player, like he's garbage, he's trash and this and that. And I just took it in like, okay, I'm with you. Like he gets that roster spot 9 times out of 10 because Greek Freak's his brother, right?
That's how I look at it.
And you gotta keep him happy, right? Which is it's a fair argument. It's fine, right?
That's business.
It's business, right? A lot of people do similar things in other, business structures and in business environments
100%.
too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you look at him play, right, he also brings a lot of energy, and I think he's also a very positive guy in general. So I feel like the team tends to like him anyways. And if you really want to boil down everything and get to the nitty gritty, who the hell plays 15 people in the playoffs? So why do you care? Like,
because people have too much time.
8 or 9 or 10 man rotation. So, like, what does it matter about number 15?
That is why I'm not on goddamn social media, because people start talking about some stupid shit like that. Like that shit that does not even matter. Like, come on, man. Like what? That's why social media. Like I'm back on now just because of this pod with little bits. I'll drop a little bit here, a little bit there, but I'm basically just putting the pod up, right? I can't go in those worlds, man, because right there, like that conversation, I guarantee if I'm walking through the park and I have a little like one-on-one with my guys about basketball, I'm not talking about Dennis.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? But these guys, they got way too much time on their hands, and they're just sitting here going, well, I guess I got to shit on somebody today. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you go back to, man, come on.
And then they stitch the clips together. They add, like, the layer over the track.
Who are
like
these people?
Charlie Chaplin music and all this shit. And I'm like, what are you doing with your life, man? Go to work. Get a job, man.
Those are the type of guys, they show up at the court, and they have, no, those are the... I run marathons, okay? Yeah. And let me tell you something. I'm going to compare those people to what I'm seeing in the marathons that I've been running in. Somebody who decided last week, I'm going to run a marathon because they saw something cute on Instagram. And so they go and they Lululemon out head to toe, zip. And then they go to the marathon and they don't train and they run and they almost die. They almost die because their body was like, what the fuck are you doing? They thought because they saw it on the internet that they could do it. No, you got to put in hard work. And listen, if he made the NBA, he put in hard work. You talking shit on the internet about him is useless. Shut your mouth. Go enjoy your meatloaf with your mom. Go drink some more water or the Kool-Aid or sugar water or whatever you're drinking. Meatloaf. Hey, Mom, meatloaf. And shut your fucking mouth.
I don't even know what she's doing back there.
Mom, meatloaf. Fantastic movie. Oh, man. All right, we have only about 2 minutes. What next game? Whoa, I didn't even check before this. When's the next game? Holy moly. Next game is against...
Hit me.
Oh, I'm trying to hit you, man.
I'm on 19 on blackjack. Just hit me.
Spurs, Wemby.
Spurs?
Spurs, Wemby, November 5th.
At
What
home
do you
or
got?
away?
This is Raptors at Spurs. So, what is your prediction?
Okay. Raptors don't really have a lot of foul merchants. Let's see. So, Wemby on the court, Spurs have the best defensive rating in the NBA. Wemby off the court, Spurs have the worst defensive rating in the NBA by a landslide. So, because he's going to be on the court the majority of the time, and because it's the goddamn Raptors, these guys are going to allow this guy to get 8 blocks, finish with 20 points, a couple of highlight reels. Raptors still win by 3. I'm going to go 107, 104.
That's hilarious because I'm on the same vibe. I'm gonna say Raptors are gonna go in and they are going to take this one in another, I'd say, a low scoring affair. It's gonna be 97-90.
Oh, and one more thing about Wemby. Got to throw this out there. I know that it's going to come up that he's averaging about 4 turnovers a game. It's going to come up at some point, right? Yeah. Problem is he's not a turnover machine if you watch him play. The problem is because he's so tall and his dribbles are so high, it's easy for guys to snatch it.
100%.
So
this guy's generational.
when he builds a little bit on that and learns to keep a little bit lower center of gravity, which is still tough to do because he's so tall, he'll get better at that naturally. But you know what? That's just what it is going to be for now. So
quickly, you got 10 seconds. Who's rookie of the year so far right now?
Chet by Lance.
I got Chet too.
Yeah,
I got Chet too, man. Chet looks so nice. I say it every episode. I'm really keeping an eye on him too. This guy has a feel for the game.
Yeah,
has a real, and so did Wemby too. It's a toss up, but right now I got Chet. Well, A.Rod, thanks for jumping on like this, man. I know you had a real busy day, and I'm glad you got back up from that knockout from the Bucks. But we'll be talking after the Spurs game, and man, have a good night, and we will talk soon, my friend.
Yes, sir.
This has been another Sports Ethos Toronto Raptors podcast with your hosts, with the mostest, El Hoopo and A.Rod. Wherever you watch these podcasts, or listen to these podcasts, please hit like and subscribe. And as I've said before, you want to put a face to the voice? Check us out on YouTube. Every episode is now up. Every video is downloadable. Later, everybody. Bye-bye.